Yes.
Oh man, that's like, why even use your own legs?
He's like, yeah, well, I do like to run around sometimes.
Have you ever climbed things? I love climbing things. Sometimes the bananas are at the top of the trees and you have to climb up there to get them.
Why is the Emperor a little child? And more importantly, why is Fa Ping a little child at heart?
Popping hasn't asked these questions yet. You're not allowed to ask questions.
Fair enough.
Stop metagaming.
I'm sorry. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark fin.
I don't even think Fa Ping knows what an emperor is since he lived his entire life in a monastery and he's never been to places like this.
That's good RPing. Good RPing, Jake.
And Theodore ends up kind of talking in a hushed tone. He says, "The captain doesn't like me climbing any trees. Last time I tried to get up there, he yelled at me to end up coming back down, and I wasn't able to go outside for a couple weeks."
You're the fucking emperor.
Why would you listen to him? I mean, look at him. He strikes me as a weird person.
He's a pretty nice guy when you get to know him.
Well, most people with the name Brian are pretty cool guys. Right, Bri guy?
He grumbles.
He's having a bad day.
I think he always has a bad day.
Oh, man. You should tell him just to sleep underneath the tree one day, and the world will just be open to him.
So at this point, some more servants end up coming out, and they have a couple of dishes that are covered. And as they place it on the table, they lift it up, and there are several bunches of bananas on the plates.
I am going to... Hold on one second. I closed my window. I will... Where are you? Okay. I'm going to perception and make sure they are ripe.
They certainly are. In fact, they look delicious.
Okay. So you've never had a banana before. Well, I'm going to teach you how to live, my man. So I'm going to grab a banana. You see this?
Describe how you open it.
Yeah, tell him that he should close his eyes, so he's not confused.
You see the Emperor grab one of the bananas, and he starts kind of sniffing the outside and looks very confused as to how to eat one.
See, they're tricky. It's tricky food. It's got like this protective coating on the outside to make you think it tastes bad, but the good stuff is always on the inside.
Oh baby!
My God. So you want to grab your banana by the base. You want to reach over to the top where that little thing is at the top of the banana, and you want to, not too hard. You don't want to, bruise the banana. You just want to slowly peel off that protective layering to get to the good stuff.
Don't forget to cup the balls.
Yeah.
We're not eating apples here, okay?
And so you end up noticing he kind of grabs the top, and he sits there and tries to kind of pull on it and stuff like that, and just kind of bends the stem over to the side, and it doesn't actually break the banana open, and it just seems to get the top like really kind of mushy and gross.
See, now you have mushy bananas. Mushy bananas aren't good unless you're making banana pudding, which is fantastic. Did you know bananas make a lot of good food? Have you ever had banana bread?
He ends up shaking his head. I haven't.
Oh my man, there is so much to life I can teach you. Bananas are like the thing. Like, I can't even describe what you can do with a banana. But there are a lot of things you shouldn't do with bananas. But I'm not going to get into that because that would take a really weird turn. But you should. Here, I'm gonna show him, and I'm gonna open my banana like this. My camera doesn't work, but I'm gesturing how to open a banana right now.
Hey, describe it slowly. And say, Mr. Gray it will see you now.
So his eyes end up going wide. He's like, wow. He's like, okay. And he ends up kind of yanking on his banana more. And and finally it ends up kind of breaking it open, and he peels the skin back.
Oh, baby.
And so
Daddy,
Get some Radiohead in here.
part of the banana is kind of
Daddy
mushy
like.
at the top there, but he still has kind of, quite a bit of it that seems good. And he goes and takes a big bite out of it.
Daddy like.
Turns out he's allergic to bananas.
And I just killed the Emperor.
And that, my friends, is how you do a successful coup.
And
It's good,
so
isn't it?
he's chewing on it. He goes, "Oh, yes, this is really good."
No, you really shouldn't talk with your mouth full. That's kind of rude,
I'll show you another banana later, baby.
He ends
Look,
up swallowing it, and he
Oh,
says,
yes.
"Yeah, I really like bananas. I'm glad I really met you, Fapping." He's got a weird accent.
Oh, boy.
You know what, little dude? I'm glad I met you too. You have a very nice house here. This is the best house I have ever been in. But then again, I haven't been into many houses because there are some people who are a little awkward around Fopping, Like they walk into a room, they just stare at you, and then they slowly back away and don't talk to you for a few days.
Does- Yes. Don't you have any friends?
Well, I'm with this traveling group that I met yesterday.
About 5 days ago now.
Oh, about 5 days ago. Two of them, they're kind of, I think they're married. They've got a lot of marital problems, though, so I don't know what's going there. I would recommend counseling to them, but one of them just seems very un-okay with himself, if you know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do, but they sound like nice people.
Well, your parents, did they ever fight with each other?
You see him kind of look down, and he's like, "I don't really know."
No, his parents died.
You don't know. I
Shit,
mean,
classic Disney
see,
story.
did you not? Are they not around right now? I mean,
How old is this kid?
why is how old is he?
He's probably somewhere around 10 or so.
10. I mean,
Oh, geez.
this whole time I've been sitting here talking to you. Usually when I walk up and talk to kids, their parents are there in a heartbeat. and yet no one's came. I mean, you got Bry Guy back there, but he seems like he's kind of like your bitch, You hear that, Bry Guy? Yeah, I know you heard that.
So he says, "Yeah." He's like, "My parents both died when I was really little. I never really got to know them."
Awkward.
You know what helps me in those things? I just eat bananas, and it makes all the pain go away.
He kind of smiles at that, and he's like, "Yeah, bananas are pretty good, but it's okay. Like I said, I didn't really get to know them, so I kind of, think about, all the people that I do still have here. Like, for example, Mr. Merrick over there, and I also have Wilfred. I talk to him a lot. He's pretty smart."
Who's Wilfred? I don't think I met that. That's not Bry Guy over there, is it?
No, Mr. Wilfred doesn't live here. He's down at the Grand Library. They have lots and lots of books.
I never read a book before. I open a book, I start to read it, and I see a bunch of words, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be eating a banana right now.
Banana is life, homeboy.
Banana is love. Banana is life.
He says, "I bet they have lots of books about bananas."
There are books about bananas.
And his little mind has been blown.
He says, "I'm sure there are. I haven't read any myself, but Wilfred probably knows about them."
Does it have pictures?
Some of them do. They have pretty cool pictures.
I might have to read one of these books for myself. You think the books about bananas taste like bananas?
I'm not sure about that. I've never tasted any books before.
Well, how do you know what something does unless you try it?
He says, "You have a pretty good point there. You seem pretty smart, Mr. Fopping."
Yeah, you open your mind. You go with the flow. You don't question. Someone says, "Hey, do this," and you just do it. Usually, it ends up well. I feel like you can really trust people these days.
Keith, are you eating banana right now?
I don't think he heard that.
He totally did, and he's probably muted too.
I'm not muted.
Oh, okay. I'm not muted, he says.
I'm not muted.
I was talking about.
And so after you guys have kind of chatted a little bit longer and you've had some bananas, Theodore ends up kind of suggesting and asking if you want to end up going down to see if Wilfred has any books on bananas.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds awesome.
And he says, "Perfect," and he runs off to tell Merrick that you guys are going to be heading out to the library. All right, so back down by the docks, we have our friendly little halfling who has made a bunch of new friends with all the workers down there. And so all of them seem to know him by name now and kind of pat him on the shoulder and seem to be acting fairly friendly with him. So is there anything else that you would like to do down there at this point?
No, I was gonna say last round I kind of just headed off to go find everybody. Kind of after I was done and just kind of promised I'd be back and wish them well.
All right. So you're able to head back up kind of towards the market area where you kind of last saw everyone. And after a little bit of searching and asking around, you are able to find, let's see, Kane and Gilltoss, who are walking around, as Kane was quite noticeable as he's been walking around town, and so quite a few people kind of noticed him moving about as they get a strong waft of this strange peppermint scent. And so you end up approaching the two of them.
The two?
Yeah, Fox is buying his scrolls.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of just show up to everybody and I'm like, I have a vision.
Hell.
I had a vision.
Oh, hell, he says.
I was
A
gonna say,
vision, huh?
it came to me while I was in the barrel, and then later, just now while I was walking with townsfolk, I saw many masks.
Could it possibly be a guy named Heist?
Yes, and there were. What I've learned is we may not.
Yeah, we
have
already know all
gotten-
this shit. Actually, okay, go ahead. What do you know? What do you know?
Well, no. I then learned more. This isn't all. I learned where they're at
Whoa.
in this great vision.
Okay.
Where? Burrow's town.
Do a deception check for me.
Oh, God damn it.
So
Jake.
I'm not deceiving them. I'm not deceiving them. I'm telling them what I learned.
You got it from a vision. That's deceiving them.
Well, can I just... Because I
I'm
never
just-
believe anything. Can I just take a 20 on him saying anything about his religion?
Nope.
What did the vision tell you these people were? Am I there, by the way? Question mark.
You got a test against.
Yeah,
I
if you-
feel like in this instance, he wouldn't have to test since this is information he already found out himself. He would know that's bullshit, but I don't think that you would be able to necessarily think that all of his religious stuff is fake, because he could technically believe it himself.
Right. That's what he's deceiving against.
Yeah.
So he believes the information that he's giving. But if Gilltoss, if you want to insight and call bullshit on his visions, then you have to beat a 24.
Or you can just believe everything.
That's what I did.
So
Trust me, it's a
at
lot
this
easier.
point, you're skeptical, which is why you were trying to read into his words that he's giving you, but you really have absolutely no other explanation as to how he could have gotten this accurate information that is accurate because of what you found out from the Dawn Guard captain. And for all you know, he has just been waltzing around town and has not talked to anyone important like you have.
Okay.
So I then just I forgot what's the place called. What's the place called across the river?
So what's the place called, Mr.
Beggar's Hole.
Well, don't tell him that.
Well,
This
I
is
gotta
something
recall
his character
just
knows.
because I'm an idiot doesn't mean my character is. I just kind of then laid to him. They said that they're hiding at Beggar's Hole.
Okay.
So I think that's where we need to go.
Yeah. Anything else that you learned from your vision?
Well, I kind of assumed. I mean, the words just kind of come to me as is. I can't command them, so yeah, this is what I got.
So you got where they're at, and there's masks, and there's a bunch of them. That's all you got?
Yeah. So there's multiple ones that we may not have gotten the right one, and but if there is a right one, he could be at Beggar's Hole, and I believe that's where we should go. But again, this is just what the trees have said to me. I understand that you're skeptical.
Okay, so you believe that we should go to Beggar's Hole and find the top mask. Does the top mask have a name?
Well, I mean, from what I've gathered, it's simply the true heist, which I'm not sure if we've exactly found yet.
Okay.
But no one can know for sure. Only time will
So by this time, Fox has caught up to you all, and he sees you guys conversing.
Oh,
in the streets.
Lord.
That's what I said. All right, so you believe we should just go to Beggar's Hole and find this top mask, the heist guy, that came to you in a vision, and that's what we should do out of the goodness of our hearts.
Well, I believe that we should probably infer to one of our great planners, Fox here. He might
Help
have some
save
way
to serve the people, correct?
I mean, just everybody tell him what I told me. See if he believes it.
Okay, well, Mr. Flynn here had a vision, Mr. Fox, and there's a bunch of masks. There's a top mask named Heist, and he's down in Beggar's Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Flynn, out of the goodness of our hearts, we need to go and find the top mask and get him for the good of the people, right, Mr. Flynn?
I believe I'm catching on to a bit of sarcasm at this moment because it's pretty fucking thick.
Do an
It is
insight
thick.
check for me.
Right? I'm hearing your vision, and I'm just interpreting what you mean. Am I wrong?
My character's heard spiels like this. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
you are catching hints of sarcasm.
I'm just trying
Listen.
to see where you're coming from and what your plan is.
Listen, you don't need to reaffirm your faith through me. This is something you have to do on your own time. I know what I saw, and I believe it to be true. If there's a problem, we can pray in it together.
I'm just trying to figure out what our plan is. So we're gonna go get him.
All right, you want a plan? You want a plan?
Yes, Fox.
Yes?
Please.
Okay.
What would you like to do with that information?
Stop for a minute. Just stop talking. Once in your life, stop talking. All right? This is what we're going to do. This heist fellow is obviously extremely dangerous as he commands multiple branches of these thieves who attempt to mimic him with flaming swords. If disciples of this bandit leader wields magic items such as that, that means that Heist himself is not only going to be well guarded, but very well equipped. All right? I have just purchased 2 new spells, which I think that we can help us in finding him. The first is Illusionary Script. All right? With it, I will fashion us a document that to anyone else who looks upon it will look as though they are summoning orders from Heist himself. As such, we will then make a mask for Gilltoss that resembles that in the wanted poster. He will pose as one of the underlings from Warrington, where we ourselves have just extinguished one of their branches, and we are returning now to the headquarters at Beggar's Hold. We will then use this deception to sneak into the inner sanctum of the thieves, get to Heist, use Detect Thought to make sure that he's the right one, and dispense
My character
justice
frowns a
from
little
there.
bit hearing that.
Now, Flynn, what Gilltoss was trying to understand here is that you want to take this quest upon yourself for the good of the people. This isn't something that you're trying to do to benefit yourself, but to push the word of the Great Oak and show people that your benevolence comes without cost. Is that correct?
Well, I believe that we're all subject to material existence, but first and foremost, of course, is the well-being of the people.
Then you don't need any of the reward money. That's what I'm hearing. All right. So,
No, I didn't say that.
Does anyone
Why
know where
did you do
Fa Ping
anything
is?
like that? He didn't know anything about a reward.
Does anyone know where Fa Ping is? He's good cannon fodder. I mean, he's a good asset to the team.
The last thing you ended up remembering from seeing Fa Ping was he was walking off, muttering something about a castle.
I'm not there.
Or
I'm
a
at
really,
the bar,
really
right?
big house, actually.
You're here during this
is what
game.
he was saying.
Was I? I thought I was at the bar.
No, you came with me.
Okay.
My character senses that Fa Ping is... Oh, shoot, I don't have...
Jake!
Mute yourself!
Okay, we're good.
My character thinks that he's in danger. Senses he's in danger.
You rolled a D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 50-50. It was a coin flip.
Alright, well,